Hey everyone, what is going on? My name's Alive, and in today's Payday 2 video, we're doing something that you guys asked me to do a while ago, which was go back to some of my old solo stealth videos and revisit them and redo them with the new skill build from Update 100, some new weapons, the Team AI perks, all that stuff. So basically, go back, revisit some of the oldest videos, and give them a fresh lick of paint, a fresh outlook, using some of the newest things on Payday 2's console version. So today, we're starting off with the Diamond. And before we do anything else, I'm going to get in, jump in, and show you what we're going to pick up with the pre-planning. So let's kick that off by looking at what we've got here. So first off, we're going to be grabbing a dead drop of body bags at the renovated exhibition room and courtyard shrubbery. Also see the thermite paste at the forecourt tree. We're going to be getting a bagman at the east staircase window, and then rounding off with a glass cutter. Now, you might wonder why I've gone through that so fast. I have to admit right from the start, I'm giving this commentary over the video as it's already been recorded because I am a complete and utter moron. I recorded this video right through as a solo stealth and then suddenly decided that I didn't suddenly decide, I realized afterwards that the microphone wasn't plugged in. So it's a webcam Minecraft quality audio. It's terrible. So I'm having to record this over the top of it because honestly, recording this was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I kept messing it up, so I figured, right, I've got a good heist. I can cut out the commentary. I'll record a new one over the top of it. So that's what we're doing. So, the Diamond. The first point of call I can give, really, is quite simply, don't get the extra loot. There's 2 points of call here that need to be discussed with this heist. And the first one is don't get extra loot because, quite simply, as dumb as it sounds, the extra loot just causes you a ton of problems. I think the first thing you need to remember is the artifacts that you get as extra loot only give you $200,000 or a little bit more than that per bag, even on the highest difficulty that we're playing on Death Sentence. The diamond itself is worth 6 million. So even if you get 10 artifacts, you're only making a third of what the diamond is giving you. It ain't worth the stress. I mean, once you've got the diamond secured, if you do want to wander around and try and secure some, that's a different matter. And if you do happen to find an artifact on the way to the Baggerman window we've purchased, that's also something that's fine too. But genuinely, I just find that whenever I mess up this heist, it's usually going for other loot. Obviously, a few times I messed up recording just generally, but, you know, get the point. Usually, it's going for the extra loot that you get caught out by guards or civilians or cameras, and everything just tends to go wrong. And now, what we've seen on screen here, me killing the civilian, leads perfectly onto my next point, which is civilians are like gold dust. Now, I honestly think that when the Diamond first came out, there were a lot more civilians, and at some point in an update on PC and therefore on console, they have changed it so civvies spawn far less frequently to try and make keycards harder to come by. Now, honestly, I mean, I get why they've done it to make the stealth a bit more challenging, but as a result, it's very difficult to come across civilians. Sometimes in a map, I'll find one civilian, and then it will take me a long time to bump into another. Sometimes I'll be wandering around the museum, constantly trying to find more civilians. And it gets kind of difficult at that point to try and find one and get the keycard. So occasionally, you get really bad luck and it takes you ages to find one. So my advice, my second point of call, and the second most important thing with the solo stealth is if you see a civilian, whether you already have a keycard or not, it doesn't matter. Kill them, tie them up, do whatever you want, and remember where you did so, because then you can come back and get the keycard, and it's no stress. It's already there waiting for you for when you need that second keycard, or if you need to just pick up the first one, that's fine too. If you see the civilian, deal with them there and then. Don't let them run off if you can do it without being caught by a guard or camera. Obviously, if it's in a camera's path, you're screwed. You're going to have to wait and find another opportunity to do it, but if you can, try and do it as soon as you can. That's my my key point of advice. But that's it. So dodge artifacts, don't loot them unless they're in the way of, you know, going to the next objective, in which case, you know, give it a try if you want, but even then be careful, and keep an eye out for civilians. Anyway, so, for the sake of people who haven't seen me do this heist before, solo stealth, the objectives, as we've seen so far, has just been to get into the museum and rewire circuit boxes. Now, you see some of the spots I've gone through. The path I follow is a very, very common path to take right around the museum. By the time you get to the end, you will have found the circuit boxes. Occasionally, more recently, I've seen them spawn outside in the courtyard and me have to use one of the ones in the courtyard. Doesn't happen very often, but it's possible that you may have to go out in the courtyard and go into one of the, like, kind of porch type areas on either side, and there could be a box there you need to pick. That's possible. I'd also recommend getting the security room in this heist, purely because the cameras are so common and such a pain in the backside, as we get it now. Time that perfectly, actually. Because they're just such a pain in the backside, and with this heist, I don't tend to go around and just killing guards to thin the herd. Because in some heists where you have 5, 6, 7 guards, you kill, say, 2 or 3 just to thin them down a bit and keep 1 or 2 as emergency pages in case you run into a guard by accident. In this heist, I don't bother. There's so many guards that even trying to thin the herd will make no difference. You're better saving all the pages in case of an emergency. And the only exception I make is killing the security camera guard. It just makes much more sense to do it that way. Also, you've seen as I was going around the doors that I was lockpicking open, if there's a yellow symbol above them that says like caution or hazard, they're the ones that actually have a, my PC just made a noise, hello, I hope that didn't come over on the microphone, whoops, sorry if it did. They're the ones that you can go into and open circuit boxes to actually advance the objective. If there's just a white sign over the top, like that door there you can see, then you don't need to open those, there won't be a circuit box in them. But either way, I would suggest just opening every door anyway. Because honestly, whether or not you're picking the circuit box, they're a really good place to either hide from guards going past, good place to restock on body bags or ECM, well not ECM, you can't restock on them, but restock on deployables, and generally just, throw body bags, loot bags, whatever you want to do. They're good to have open, so if you can open all of them while you're going around, do that. It's a good strategy and it's a really good one to have. But now we're waiting for the time lock to run down, and I've already got my second civilian killed, so we're all good. So we've got both key cards, we're all sorted, we're all ready to go. So now it's all about waiting for that time lock to tick down. Now here, as you can see, there are loot bags around in this back area, but honestly, like I said, I'm not bothering. If I had chosen to bag one of these up and try and take it out, chances are I'd have got spotted. And I figured the best chance I've got is to stay clear of this guard here in the back area and just go straight into the North Hall as soon as I can. So that's the idea I went with. Now, there's one guard here you can see who's in this North Hall. Occasionally another guard can stroll into this corridor. Very rare. But once this door opens, there's 3 guards beyond that gate there. One of them can come into this area, into this corridor, and then go back again. Or the guard in this corridor can go into the North Hall and come back. So occasionally you may find there's less guards in the North Hall. Occasionally there'll be more. Bear in mind, keep an eye out for 3, maybe 4 guards when you're in this far back area. And always keep an eye out, because sometimes walking into here straight away can get you caught. Try and peek round, see where the guards are first before you start maneuvering around this back area, because it can get a bit difficult to work around. There's very little chances for cover, and it's so easy to just walk accidentally into a line of fire here where you can't dodge it and go behind cover fast enough, and then you're exposed straight away. So try and avoid that happening. That is one of the more dangerous things, one of the things to definitely keep an eye out for. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself with a lot more problems, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants to find more problems in Payday, because that just makes life even more annoying. Anyway, so now I'm just trying to find an opportunity to dash down, slide the card in, and then run and dodge. And then we got another minute and a half wait. Now again here, if you wanted to, you could quite simply try and loot some bags to take them out. But once again, as I've said about 3 times now, if I do that, chances are I'll get spotted. So let me give you a bit of advice for what's going to happen now with the floor grid. Now, if you haven't done this solo stealth heist before, for the benefit of people who haven't, when you go through, there is a circuit box you have to pick, and it will give you a path to go across a grid of tiles. And you have to walk across the specific pattern that it tells you to do to get across without triggering the alarm and setting poisonous gas off, which also sends the diamond into the floor and makes you have to drill. So obviously for a stealth heist, you can't afford for that to happen. You have to get across sneakily. First thing to remember is, when it gives you a specific amount of time, that includes having to come back as well. It doesn't count about you just getting over there. The tiles will all lift up, even the ones you've walked on, once the time's elapsed. So if you go over and get the diamond and the time's run out, the tiles will go up. You are literally screwed. You will have to trigger the alarm to get back to the other side. So you need to time it perfectly and get across a floor pattern that will give you enough time to get across, grab the diamond, and come back. So if you think, oh, I'll just make it across in 20 seconds. No, you need to be able to make it back as well, so remember that. But the key thing is, when you pick the circuit box, if you don't like the pattern you get, you do not have to stick with it. And this is something I didn't realize at the start when I first started playing the diamond. You can re-pick that circuit box and get a new pattern as many, many times as you like. It's just you have to wait each time for the timer to count down before you can pick it again. So you can't just at 20 seconds say, actually, don't count down, give me a new one. You have to wait for the clock to reach 0, and then you pick it again, and it gives you a new path. Now, I'm pretty sure in this, I said in the original recording, I'd skip ahead to when I got a decent pattern, but I think the second pattern I get is one that I actually use. Because this one, I seem to remember, was a bit dodgy. Yeah, once it starts going all diagonal here, I just kind of went, no, immediately thought that's not going to happen. I'll mess up something there. See, so it kind of just kept going diagonal, and it was going across, and those are the kind of ones you don't want. You want ones where it goes either straight up and then changes direction once, maybe, and that kind of goes right and up again. Those are really simple patterns, and those are the ones you want to go for if you can try and get it to be one of those. Those are the more preferable options, I would say. But here, again, it reaches down to 0 seconds. I hacked the box again, and I think this pattern is the good one, if I remember correctly. Let's just have a look. Was this the good one? So it went across 4, up again. I don't think it was this one. It must have been the one afterwards. I don't know. I'd cut it out here again in the edit, but there's no point because I know for a fact when I record this that I found the pattern quite quickly. So it must have just been the third pattern. But yeah, again, so remember, you can pick it as many times as you want, and you need to make sure you allow enough time to get back as well as get across. Although the floor tiles you walk on to get to the diamond will be lowered, until the time runs out. So you'll be able to see the path to go back nice and easy without having to remember the reverse version. But here we go. Here's the pattern. Was this just straight across? Oh, no, yeah, it was straight across with one change at the end. That's the kind of pattern you want, where it's almost entirely straight, one turn, and then that's it. You're there at the end, because you have plenty of time to grab the diamond and get back across where the tiles have been lowered here, as you can see. And look at that. Sorted, with about 20 seconds left. And that guard nearly spots me. Honestly, there were a couple of close calls in this recording session. I know what it is. Whenever I record or live stream, people have seen me say this on live streams before, but whenever you're recording or live streaming one of these solo stealths, it's a lot easier to mess up, I've noticed. When you play privately on your own, you haven't got the stress of talking people through it, and, you know, therefore losing some of the focus because you're too busy telling people how to do the heist rather than just focusing on it yourself. It gets harder to get through and not screw it up. And there have been plenty of times where I've just got caught and got into a fit of swearing rage, which, honestly, if this channel had swearing, there would be some golden blooper reels, but because we keep it PG family friendly as much as we can, even though the game isn't PG family friendly, so what can you do? But there are other channels that do that the way I do. But if it hadn't been, trust me, we'd have had some glorious swearing blooper reels, because I just lose it sometimes when I record these. Like, I get caught at the very, very last second, and I will just scream down the mic for like 20 seconds. It's really funny. Maybe at some point I'll keep all the recordings and just bleep over them so you get an idea. Might do that. That might be funny. But either way, now I was going to go... I go down underground here. I figured that was the best idea. So I could have gone around the usual way that I came up at and thrown the bag through the bagman window, but I decided here the best idea was to go through the basement and get to the ladder where I actually came into the place to start with. Thought it was the best move. Now this guard here spots me, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of dodging here. Let him kind of not spot me and then walk around him. I think I just do I just run across here? Do I just go for it? Do I just go for it? I think I might do. I think I do. Just run. There we go. So we go right down the corridor here, right along, back where we started now. Let this guard go past. And then you'll notice the lock I put the thermite paste on, or the bars, was a very specific one, because that one place where I put the thermite paste, go back to start the video if you need to see it, it's basically the furthest away. There's a step ladder there. So you can go up the step ladder and straight through. There's no other step ladder in any of the other doors, and that's always fixed. That will never change. And here, there you go. We get right to the end, and slap bang, right in the middle, we just throw the bag into the van, and we are sorted. It's all done. And that's the diamond secured, $6.9 million. So if you'd have got 10 artifacts, that would have paid less than a third, or no, exactly a third of that diamond. It's just not worth it. I don't think it's worth it. I think it's much more... it's much smarter for your money if you just simply go in, get the diamond, and get out. For the time it'll cost you, the XP and the money you get, it's better just doing it that way. It really is. But either way, that is the Diamond Solo Stealth updated version. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I really do. Honestly, I don't know why it took me so many recordings to get this right, because the first time I did this video, I didn't expect to get through it. It sounds really stupid, but I expected to simply get right to the end and then trigger the alarm and call it a solo stealth, because that's what I thought was a solo stealth in 2015, I guess. I don't know. But when I actually pulled it off and got it in the van, I was really happy and really proud of myself. So, you know, it's cool to be able to revisit that first solo stealth video and give it a new kind of lease of life. But as you can see here, these are my skills. If you just want to pause the video, have a look, feel free. It's based off the ultimate stealth build, so you can go check that out. I'll leave a link in the description on the top right corner of the screen now, if you can remember. But that's the end of the video. So if you have enjoyed, as always, you know the drill. Please do consider giving it a thumbs up, because it's always very much appreciated. And if you are new around here, please, please, please do consider subscribing, because it's quick, it's free, and I will always love you for doing so. And finally, I say it every time, I know it's a bit of a plug, but I say it anyway, if you do fancy supporting the channel over on Patreon and helping keep the channel going, it is really, really appreciated. Never expected, but any donation you do send is appreciated. Again, link in the description and the top right corner of the screen. But until then, I will see you guys next weekend with a brand new video. I hope you have a good time until then, and I'll also see you sometime midweek, probably on Thursday, for a new live stream. Until then, though, guys, take it easy, look after yourselves, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.